Have you ever wondered why the exchange rate between the Canadian dollar and the Mexican peso fluctuate over time? Well, today I'll explain the difference between nominal and real exchange rates and analyze how the Canadian Mexican rate has evolved over the past decade using the supply and demand model. So, first let's dive into the definitions. So, nominal exchange rate is the number of Mexican pesos you get for one Canadian dollar. The real exchange rate differs as it adjusts for inflation, showing how much purchasing power the Canadian dollar has in Mexico compared to Canada. So, for example, if a nominal rate is 14 Mexican peso to a Canadian dollar, but inflation in Mexico is higher than in Canada, the real exchange rate may be lower. So, over the past 5 to 10 years, the Canadian Mexican exchange rate has seen fluctuations due to economical and geopolitical factors. The main reason why this has happened revolved around two main ideas. So, since exchange rates are determined by supply and demand, if more people want Canadian dollars, so like to trade or to invest, the demand curve will shift right, which appreciates the Canadian dollar. If more people want Mexican pesos, then the peso appreciates and the Canadian dollar depreciates. So, when these two factors continue to change, fluctuations are going to be present. So, what specific events led to these fluctuations? Well, from 2015 to 2018, oil prices and the trade agreements. So, Canada's economy relied heavily on oil exports. So, when oil prices dropped in 2015 to 2016, the Canadian dollar weakened against the Mexican peso. NAFTA's negotiations, though, in 2017 created uncertainty affecting both currencies, but strengthening the Mexican peso as trade deals stabilized. From 2019 to 2022, there was a pandemic. So during COVID-19, economic slowdowns led to the Canadian depreciation, while the Mexican peso saw volatility due to tourism losses. So post-pandemic, inflation surged globally. Mexico's higher inflation rate made the real exchange rate lower than the nominal rate. From 2023 to present, there was more interest rates and economic growth. So the Bank of Canada raised interest rates, attracting foreign investments and strengthening the Canadian dollar. And Mexico's economy grew due to nearshoring, so it also kept the Mexican peso stable. So to wrap it up, the nominal exchange rate tells us how many pesos one Canadian dollar can buy, while the real exchange rate accounts for inflation's differences. Thank you.